Hello, welcome back to the stream. It is Monday, which means Alone Against Nyarlathotep Day. We're starting session 3 today, of day 3 of our campaign. But before we get into it, I got some comments on the YouTube videos from the author himself. That's right, Lee Nyarlathotep Wade himself has seen my videos. So firstly, thank you for watching. It's nice to get comments and for people to see things. And he left some tips. So, you forgot the emerald. I did forget the emerald. In fact, I forgot the emerald so thoroughly that when I read this comment, I thought, emerald? What emerald? And I had to search the PDF. But the emerald, of course, is this thing we've got here. It is the Emerald of Sanity Preservation. This stone reduces any sanity loss you suffer by 1 if you remember to think about the calming emerald before writing down your new score. If you remember afterwards, you may not erase or amend the sheet. So, in my notes that I have on the side of the screen that are not visible on stream, I have the word emerald in big letters, which will hopefully help me remember, but we will see. Another tip was the safe. The safe, I believe, was in the basement or cellar, whatever, beneath the kitchen. And we broke our lockpicks there, but that's definitely something to go back to, so I'll be heading back there. So yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting. I'm sorry for complaining about all the grammar and punctuation so much, but it's a fun module, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So let's I guess let's have a little bit of a recap to start. So the overall situation is that our friend, whose name I forget every time, Edward Lombard, he wasn't exactly a close friend. He's someone we met. All of the characters who are present have met him and had some brief interaction with him. And Edward Lombard, sadly, has passed away. And all of these characters have been united, they've been brought together to attend the reading of his will. And at the reading of his will, it was very strange. They were told that he is paying large amounts of money to everyone, that's kind of split between all the people, on the condition that they spend a few days in the house. And he has said that there's some sort of strange work of his family that he was unable to complete, something he can't directly talk about, and that he has brought us here as he thinks that we potentially might be able to solve this problem. But he is prevented from telling us directly about it. There's some sort of nemesis. Nemesis with a capital N, so it's a big deal. The solicitor, of course, thinks this is complete nonsense. But we are here, and we have to stay here for a few days to get the disbursement from the will, so whether it's nonsense or not, we don't really have a choice. He also, Edward Lombard, proposed a game. There was hidden somewhere on the grounds a Faberge egg, and the person who found it could keep it, and this is in addition to anything they get from the will. I thought this was just a complete red herring made up by Edward Lombard to get us exploring the place and sticking around for a few days, but actually there is indeed a Faberge egg, and we have found it. I believe I have put it in our little inventory here. So we now have a very valuable artifact. But it did achieve the goal, I guess, of getting us exploring, as we found some strange things. We found standing stones out in the grounds. And we, when we got the egg and presented it to the solicitor, he gave us another letter from Edward Lombard, which goes into a bit more detail about this problem that he has to deal with. Something about it being dangerous to go out at night, some great evil. Let's see, it says, let's read this out. Should the light of hope be extinguished, eternal night shall fall. Before the heavenly planets align, complete your own from the ley line. The numbers cannot be found while the sun is high, only the moon can see. Beware of that which eternal lie. With strange eons, even death may die. So, at first I thought this is something to do with the standing stones that we'd seen around the grounds. As if you talk about ley lines and you've got standing stones, where are you going to put standing stones? Obviously along a ley line. It's the classic place for them. But that might not be the case. I thought. Let's see. Let's keep reading a little bit. Leaving the boundary is dangerous outside daylight hours, but necessary, for my nemesis now knows you and has much influence even beyond the boundary. So I thought that the boundary here was probably like the house. So I thought this meant we need to go out of the house at night to find the Circle of 12, as it says, or something like that, which is probably going to be the ley lines, not the ley lines, the standing stones, and somehow use that to resolve the problem, and there'll be dangers at night. What actually happened is it seems the boundary is the boundary of the property as a whole, not just the house, as we have been attacked twice by strange, I believe they were bat snake monsters that flew through the air when we tried to step beyond the property bounds into the fields and lanes beyond, which actually cost the life of our initial main investigator, Mr. William Boltwood, the 27-year-old accountant, the finder of the Faberge egg. He is no more. And Emily French, dilettante, is now indefinitely insane, which will be cleared at some point, I assume. And our current main investigator is Keiko Fong, a Japanese con woman. So I think we need to keep exploring, see what is going on, as there's still a bit more stuff we've not checked out, like the safe. We will check out the safe. But then I think we need to go out at night again tonight and try leaving the grounds again in a different direction to see what happens. So last night, we tried to head out into the fields on one side of the property, but we can also go out onto the roads on the other side of the property. I think let's check that out. But we do have a list of places we've not been yet, so I want to work through some of these today. Suppose let's add the safe to this. In fact, let's go try checking out the safe first. So let's see. It is 9:30 on the 5th of November. We have an event coming up at 10:30. We've just had breakfast. We kind of wrapped up breakfast at the end of last session. So I think let's go straight to the safe, which I believe was accessible from the kitchen. So let's go find that. Let's see, prompt 315. The kitchen. Yes, there is a cellar down here. Okay, so let's begin on our log again. And start tracking time. Okay, the kitchen is of a Victorian standard and has an Agar stove on a tiled ceramic floor. Numerous cupboards have every type of dinner set needed for a large banquet. Preserves, jars, and tins fill a pantry with a stone cooler built under the worktop to hang meat or store fresh vegetables. A hand-cranked pump delivers clean water. Many pans and kettles hang near the stove. This is Mrs. O'Brien's domain. She doesn't entertain people who make a mess of her well-organized kitchen or cupboards. She tells you there is no golden egg here in the kitchen. I know, it's in my pocket. And to go look somewhere else before carrying a large jug of water into the house. The room smells of freshly baked bread and is spotlessly clean. There is a block of knives for butchering meat and a large meat cleaver hung above it. A heavy barred door leads outside while a stone staircase descends to the pitch-black cellar. I don't think I've actually been out of the kitchen door, but I assume this is the same place as the back door. It's not. 384 is a different location. Okay, let's check this out. Just make sure that we're not missing anything. 384. You are outside the kitchen door of Lombard House. A cleared path through the snow goes from the door to the housekeeper's cottage. Housekeeper's cottage or towards the front door. I should have noted down. Let's go look at the front door and see what places these are. Like, is this the same cottage? It probably is. Okay, front door. Let's just note down some numbers here. So the garage is 283, the forest is 409, the cottage is 384. I believe that was the same thing. And then we have some accessible roads from the drive. So the road left is 555. The road right is 564. And walking around the forest perimeter is 484. Okay, right. Back to this. Where were we? Yes, we're at 384. The housekeeper's cottage is 429, which is not the same as this, okay? We can head into the forest. That's the same prompt there. We can walk around to the front door. That's where we just were. Or we can head back into the house. We've already come out of the door. Let's go check out the housekeeper's cottage. Getting immediately sidetracked from the safe. And it was 429. We've got multiple days before the end of the world. It's fine, I'm sure. Oh, doesn't cost any time at all. Perfect. You attempt to enter the housekeeper's cottage. However, you find the door is locked. I can try to pick the lock, but I don't have lockpicks. I broke my lockpicks on the very first lockpick roll I tried to make. I hope there's a place I can find more lockpicks. Otherwise, go to 384. Okay, so it is the same cottage, but I can potentially break in. Let's pop around to 384. This one does cost some time. I can cross that off. You're outside. Oh, I'm back outside the back outside the kitchen. I've confused myself. Let's go back to the front door. Front door is 234. And it has cottage to 384. Oh, I see. Okay, so right, so the front door, it leads you around to outside the kitchen door, and from there you can get to the cottage. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. All right. So I've gone to the cottage, had a look. I can't get through the door because it is locked. And I'm back at the kitchen door. So let's just go back into... I can get an axe. I have seen a few weapons and things that I've not picked up as I've wandered around, but having encountered a giant flying snake bat thing, I think I do want to gain an axe. So let's see, what weapon do I have right now? So I'm Keiko Fong. Actually pretty well equipped already. I have a sword, a revolver, and my cool judo skills. So maybe I don't need an axe, or maybe someone else could have an axe. I could give it to the temporarily insane Emily French. I'm sure nothing will go wrong with this. Axe, 20% skill. I imagine she doesn't have fighting axe, just for the fun of it. Nope. I believe I could have used the axe to chop down the tree. I think that's the thing I saw I could do. Anyway, I've got the axe now. Okay, ignores half armor. Okay. Might be useful in a dire situation. Right, let's go back into the kitchen then. And I'll go down into the cellar. This is not your first visit in the location. Go to 339. Oh, there was no time at all to go down these stairs. You stand in a gloomy stone subterranean basement used to store dried goods and some root vegetables. Washing tubs with a mangle and washcloths are in one corner. Some emergency logs and coal delivered through a hatch near the library window are piled against one wall. There is a shovel on the pile of coal. A rack of preserves and pickles in mason jars is overloaded. A well-stocked wine rack, a box of whiskey bottles, and 2 small barrels of beer are in a corner. A revolving door is set into the east wall. I can't remember which way the safe was. Let's just have a look. Is it through the revolving door? No, that's the dark room. Let's go back. So I've already found the safe one. So I think if you get it by searching. No, where was the safe? Maybe it was through the revolving door. Yes, it is. Okay. So I think because I've found this by searching before, I should be able to jump straight to it. So I'm gonna do that because I'm the game master and lead Nyarlathotep Wade, the author of the module, isn't gonna come to my house to beat me up if I don't roll all the dice. So it's fine. Just note down all the prompts. So I go to 318. And oops, no, it wasn't 318. It was through the revolving door to 361. And then I search it successfully. So it's 346 and 126. So I'm at the safe now. Behind a curtain, in the corner of the dark room, you find a large wall safe mounted at floor level. The quality of stainless steel is high in this installation. The Lombard family safe is a top quality installation, about 3 feet by 3 feet. Fronted with a thick stainless steel door fitted with a high quality locking mechanism and an anti-dual design. I could have gone to it any time. I have it in my list, right? Yes, I can. Okay. Well, I'm there now. Okay. If you have a... So I can't pick the lock because I broke my lockpicks. Do I have a silver key? I have a silver key. Let's use the silver key. The safe lock clicks. You turn the large handle and the 5-inch thick stainless steel door swings open. Looking inside, you see a crawl space of 5 feet that opens into a chamber. Once inside, you find the steel-lined room is 10 by 10 by 10 feet. This metal chamber has a stool and a small desk in one corner. On the table is a Thompson SMG with 2 drum magazines and 2x20 round stick mags. There is a Mills bomb in the bottom drawer. While there is another submachine gun, not a submarine gun, another submachine gun stripped into tiny pieces, just into pieces rather, in the top drawer. Opening a file on the desk titled Ley Line reveals that it is empty. Another file is about fatal attacks on livestock around the estate farms. There are many, and this details how the farmers were well compensated by Edward for any such losses. Then a scribbled note with a snapped pencil beside it reads, "To fail is all we can expect. At least we all tried, for I would have it no other way. There is no more noble good than to rid the world of its very worst evils. For now, the bringer of darkness has seen you, and there is no escape. He is maybe standing behind you now as you read my words. Fear the dark. To those who follow me, be strong and stay near the light. Trust in the moonlight. I am still with you and reflect your spirit. Ed." 4 medium-sized ingots of gold are under the paperwork, weighing perhaps 5 kilograms each, then it's worth tens of thousands of pounds. At the back of the safe is a larger, heavily locked vault doorway. The door is a massive slab of stainless steel with a large keyhole, just like the original safe. However, there are also 4 combination drills and a huge handle. The 4 combinations are marked above as a cross, a circle, a square, and a triangle. It's like a game controller. At any stage, you can return directly here from page 231 using your direct access for adding this to your list. Okay, let's add that. And put it down here. I can leave the safe and head upstairs. I can attempt to pick the lock, or I can attempt to put in the combination. I don't have lockpicks and I don't know the combination, so I don't think I can progress here. But let's note this down as a thing to do. That feels like a good thing to aim for. Let's also copy this in so we have access to this letter again, should we need it. Okay. I guess we head back upstairs. We've still got quite a lot of time. Well, 40 minutes before the next scheduled event. So there's, let's see, something you could do maybe. Let's see. I don't think we have time to walk the perimeter of the forest. I think that just takes 30 minutes, so that would move us to here, but then we need to add time to get there and back, so I don't think we have time to do that before our next scheduled event. We can do that later in the day. There is a garage from the front door. Let's go have a look at that. Okay, 283. You move to the front of the large old garage, where you find the sliding folding door is unlocked. Pulling it noisily open, you see inside is a dim but dry space, mainly filled by 2 vehicles parked side by side and covered in huge dust sheets. Behind them are a workbench and tools, although you notice they are for wood, not engineering on motor cars. I can look at the cars, I can search the garage. I don't have time to search the garage, so let's just put that down as a thing for the future. I can go to the cottage or back to the house. Let's look at the cars. I'm not really a car man, but maybe I can glean something from it. Like, oh my god, this car's registration plate is Kill and this other one is Nyarlathotep. Ooh, maps. Pulling the dust sheet off the first car, you are pleasantly surprised to find a Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost in a vibrant yellow livery. It is a spectacular motor vehicle and quite a work of art. Only 403 miles are recorded on the clock. It is a really stunning vehicle indeed. You kick the tyres and they all seem in good order. All the chrome is well polished. The second, once uncovered, is a white Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost with a snow kit. The front wheels have skis underneath, while the rear is powered by rubberized tracks. Absolutely remarkable engineering and design, and is ideal for the current conditions. This is well used compared to the wheeled model. See that 13,375 miles have been recorded once shooting into the cab. Both cars have the keys in the ignition and full fuel indicated on the dashboard. The driver's seat has 2 maps strewn across it. Gain local maps. Okay, let's go have a look at these. Okay, we have local map 1. Let's put these up here above this bigger map. Okay, local map 1 depicts the area immediately around Lombard House outside the estate grounds. Okay. Okay, so I can drive around like this. And the other map is 279. Local map 2 depicts the area north of Lombard House, beyond Statendale. So we've got maps 5 and 6, which means there must presumably be lots of other maps. We'll maybe find those in a bit. You may study these at any time or location. Yep. Okay. I can also just go to the cars. Let's add these to my list. To learn how transport works or drive somewhere, go to 400. I think I'll do that. If you wish to drive somewhere on a local map, first decide which vehicle to take and who will drive. Cars can carry only 4 people in total. If you have a party larger than 4, you must choose who goes in the vehicle and who stays at Lombard House. Vehicles can only drive to grid references that contain roads or green lanes. Okay. To reach grid squares which do not have roads, investigators must park nearby and then walk on foot from that location. The roads have snow covering them, so driving the wheeled yellow rolls is more difficult but can be faster. The tracked version is less dangerous to drive but much slower. Any journey in the yellow rolls requires a drive auto roll. It takes 30 minutes if the destination is on a different map from the starting location. Otherwise, it only takes 2 time. If you used to drive only 1 grid, it requires no drive roll and costs 1 time, just like walking. Okay, so we can walk around as well. We've got the yellow Rolls Royce. It has armor. The white Rolls Royce as well. If the drive auto roll fails, the car leaves the road halfway to the destination. It crashes into the snow and loses 1 build point from the prank. A new journey must then be attempted with additional time and drive roll. If the vehicle reaches 0 build points, it stops working and must be abandoned. Then players need to walk back. You can try to repair it. Okay. Yep, all makes sense. I thought this entire module was just going to take place in the house and grounds and maybe the surrounding small roads in the immediate vicinity of Lombard House. So I'm uh, interested that apparently like we can like drive all around the surrounding countryside as part of this module. Have to see what is going on out there, but I've not found any grid like references yet. So um, yeah, I've not found any grid references. I don't think there's any point going anywhere. I also don't know how. Oh, the entry is the grid reference. So what Lombard House is? It's red, white, and blue. 554, and then prompt 554 is Lombard House. It is Lombard House. Where was I? I was on 376. Okay, that's pretty cool that all the grid references are actually prompts in this. Okay. I suppose I could just decide to go for I was gonna say a little holiday, but it's like snowy and cold, so maybe not. I could go for a little trip to Robin Hood's Bay. Um, but yes, hopefully I'll find some clues for where I should go. But yeah, this is an interesting surprise that I can drive all around the area. Right, so that was the garage. I can search the garage, but I don't have time for that as we have this event coming up. So I guess let's just return to the front door. Is there anything else at the front door to do? We can go into the forest. We do have a bit of time. Yeah, I guess let's go into the forest. Maybe we won't be able to like fully explore it. You push through the standing but dead ferns that border the moss-lined ancient woodland. Snow is slowly falling and a little heavier now. You can hear the hiss of it landing all around. Oak is the predominant species, with each showing signs of strong prevailing coastal winds, causing them all to lean and have unusual shapes with no symmetry. Oops. Let's delete this spam message. Goodbye. Okay. Heading through some gorse and thick rhododendrons, you find yourself far from the house and on the edge of the wood. It is an isolated spot. No animal tracks have been visible so far. Lose one eldritch point. I'm not sure how to feel about gaining and losing eldritch points. I'm not really sure what they mean yet. I can head back to the house. I can search the wood properly. I can retrace my steps to where I entered, which is just going back to the house. Or I can head for the boundary of the estate. Let's searching the forest sounds like it'll take a while, so let's do that later. And I'll go to the boundary of the estate. You press on through. Oh, it's going to cost loads of time. You press on through the dense, snow-covered trees and bushes, confident you have found your way out by steering using the sun or moon. After a while, you are confused. You seem no nearer the forest border. Roll plus 1d6 time and make a navigation roll. Okay, let's get rid of these dice. I might be late to the upcoming event. 5 time. Okay, navigation. Maybe I can get out of this. So Cynthia Balshaw, who I totally forgot she was in the party. She has a compass that gives her a 10% bonus in navigation, and her normal navigation is 20. So that's pretty bad. No one has better navigators. No. Okay, 30% chance of navigating. Let's give it a shot. That's a 90. That's a little bit beyond what I can spend luck to achieve. So 374. I'm still lost. Let's have a quick look at what does it say about the timed events? Like, what if I'm actually lost in the woods when a timed event happens? Yeah, it says you may not undertake a task or entry for which there is not enough available time before a scheduled event. So maybe I actually couldn't go into the forest. Like, I wandered in and got this entry which told me to roll d6 time. I don't have the time for that, so I have to backtrack, I suppose. So yeah, I guess let's backtrack. So let's just note down that we wanted to go to the forest and do something. Let's just see. So it was going to the forest and head for the boundary. So we start heading to the boundary and get lost and retrace our steps and have the scheduled event. Goes to the entry after resolution. So I went to 357. But this d6 that I rolled, it took me like into the scheduled event. So the scheduled event should have begun by the time this time was resolved, I guess. But let's jump to the scheduled event. Oh, this is a thing that happened. There's different if I'm outside. Okay. If you're outside, which I am, go to 900. Combat. Uh-oh. The flock of crows regroup up above you. Regroup? They've not even grouped yet. Make sure it was the right one. Yep, 910. Okay, if you're outside, go to 900. Flock of crows groups up above me, numbering many adult birds. They make a hellish cacophony of caws before diving down to attack. You've never seen anything like this whirlwind of bloodthirsty corvids. You feel vulnerable out here, but there is no time to reach cover. You can try to shoot them in the hope of scaring them off or killing as many as possible. Each member of the party gets to shoot. Melee weapons may also be used. Roll to hit with an advantage die from close range. I guess the melee doesn't have advantage because close range is the normal for melee. Okay, let's see. G. I feel the 55 is probably better than. Oh, she could use judo. Oh, but this. Okay, so it's the combined damage that's important. And we repeat this until we resolve the crow situation. Okay, let's see. I do kind of like the idea of like karate chopping crows out of the air. Okay, and Emily French. Let's just double check what it says about temporary insanity. I'm pretty sure Emily French can't do anything. Yes, if you lose 5 or more sanity in a single encounter, roll intelligence as in the normal game. Temporary insanity lasts until instructed to remove it. This makes them incapable of combat or skill rolls. Okay, so she's just like stuck cowering. I should have left her inside really. She's just like stuck cowering beneath the crows as Cynthia Balshar just like blasts into the air with her shotgun, which she has a 70% chance of. So that's pretty good. With a bonus die, but that's a success. But let's roll another d10 as we could maybe get a critical success. Nope. So just a regular, well, a half success on that. That doesn't give any additional damage. And it is 4d6 damage from that. Okay, that's 10 there, 15 damage. 15 damage from the shotgun. So Cynthia they see the crows dive bombing them. Cynthia just raises her shotgun and fires, and Keiko. Okay, so I got 15 damage. I need at least 5 more to end this go. So sadly, I cannot judo the crows. That won't deal enough damage. The revolver with the bonus die is probably the best bet here. So let's try that. That's a 17, which is a success. So that's 1d6 plus 1 damage. That's 5 damage. We're on 20 damage. So we have shotgun blast, we have revolver shots going into the air, crows landing everywhere, and we've dealt with them. You're left standing amongst the bloodied corpses of so many birds in the snow. It is a surreal scene. Now there is silence. Being spattered in blood and feathers is not pleasant, and you wipe it away with a handful of snow. Only then do you see the glint of metal among the bodies, already starting to be covered by the rest of the snowfall. You pick up a long silver key, likely a safe key, in your opinion. It has a strange threaded end on the shaft. Gain silver key. I mean, I've already got the silver key, but okay. And then we go back to the location the encounter started at. So we're back in 357, I guess. Or actually, I guess this. Yeah, I guess this happened while we were like wandering around. So let's put this back how it was. This is on 2. And close. I can shoot crows and ravens. I shoot crows and ravens for breakfast. Okay. Right, so this happened while we were exploring, and then we failed our navigation roll. So yes, let's just kind of skip ahead to where we were. So we were then on 374. Oops. So you move off and find no tracks as you approach where you think the forest edge should be. There is another gorse thicket. Once around it, you meet a maze of rhododendrons. This is slow progress. Roll 1d6 for the time. And then make another navigate roll. So we still have our 30% navigate. That's a critical success on the navigate, but we do spend 5 time on this. Success, go to 357. So we've backtracked slightly. But we need to succeed on this one, I guess. We fail, so we go back to 374. We might be stuck bouncing around between these two places for a while. Let's do that. So we're now on the 374 again. I hope I'm not going to be stuck in the forest forever. That would be a sad way to experience the end of the world. Like days wandering in circles in this forest and then just look up and see the meteor coming down. I'm really good at navigating when I'm in this 374. Okay, that's fine. That's a success. Whew. So we're going to 328. Finally getting to the edge of the trees, you come out and find yourself at 221. Snowflakes collect in your hair and on your shoulders as you approach the lone oak. I'm back at the oak. Now you're near, you can get a real sense of the enormous girth of the tree trunk. Maybe it's 10 feet across. Yep. It is as it was when we last saw it. What date is it today? It is the 5th of November, and it's after 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is when something strange happens here. So maybe we'll come out to the oak again tonight. But let's see. It is daylight. Let's go to a 497. If you've earned the title of lumberjack, go to 177. We have not. Okay, you approach the impressive old oak and note all of the leaves have long since blown away in the fall. Very few are even left around on the lawn. One side of the tree is covered in snow. See, noose hanging from it. So I've been to all of these places. I can try to fell the tree if I want to. But I don't really see a reason to fell the tree. So I don't think I will. So let's see. It's very early in the day. We have a bit of time before the next scheduled event, so maybe I could go check out some more stuff. I could go search the forest, I suppose, because I have half an hour I can just dedicate to that. So, I don't want to go into the forest. I guess, yeah, back to the front door. I wanted to walk the perimeter. Which, do you get to that from 409? You do. Okay, right. In that case, I don't want to go back to the front door. I just want to go straight to the forest, which I believe I could do from there. Let's see, it was 497. Yes, I can go to the forest. So I'll just go straight to the forest, and then I want to search the woods properly. To 425. It's going to cost a D4 time. 2 time. Okay, plus the time it took me to walk here. That is 3 time in total. Okay. Looking around in the snow-filled forest, it is hard to even find somewhere to search that is not under a few inches of snow. You look at hollows in trees, a fallen log, and a hole in the ground lined with stone blocks. However, you find nothing, so begin to press on. Roll luck. Let's see, who is the luckiest person left? Okay, Gofong has 50 luck, that's pretty good. Cynthia Belcher has 51 luck. And Emily French has 55 luck. Can she make a luck roll? I mean, it's not a skill roll. Yeah, I'm sure Emily French can make a luck roll. 34. Any of them would have succeeded. So roll luck, go to 447. And spend 1 time. Moving through a dense area of bushes, you come across a 15-foot-high monolith topped with snow. Its surface is grey, with veins of black material in several places. You see a carving high up of a winged serpent spiraling around the standing stone. It seems South American style. A flurry of snow falls from the tree tops onto you, making you jump. It is creepy in here, and pretty damned cold too. Yeah, maybe I could get like a dice thing for chat. And let people roll. Let's see. Let's see. 357. You press on through the dense snow-covered trees and bushes, confident you've found your way out by steering. Have I? I was here before. I'm back in the forest loop. Three time, and that's a fail, but I could spend 18 luck rather. Um, hmm. I don't really want to wander around the forest for ages. On the other hand, it's all it costs me is imaginary time. So let's bounce around the forest a bit, and I'll spend luck if I'm stuck after a while. Okay, so we're then back at 357. So we went 357 to what is it? 374. Then we're back at 357, which cost us 6 more time. It's now midday, and let's see if we can get out of here. We can. So we end up emerging from the forest at a random point. We emerge at 284. which is this is the entrance to the grounds, I believe. I've definitely been to 284 before. Hmm. Unfortunately, the built-in Miro search can only tell me that I have the numbers 284 somewhere inside this text box. It'd be very convenient if it could highlight the search result. But yes, I've been here before. I guess that's the important thing. And I believe I've done this. So, well, yeah, I guess I can roll it again. But I'm not going to spend luck because I'm pretty certain I've already succeeded on this. Let's see, history or archaeology. Yes, our sane characters only have the base chance in both of them, so let's go for history, I guess. Yep, fail. Yes, so we're on the driveway. Roll spot hidden. I think Keiko Fong is probably failed that. She probably doesn't have 61 spot hidden, but let's see. She has 60. I could spend 1 point of luck. Sure, let's spend 1 point of luck to succeed on this spot hidden roll, which I may already have succeeded on. I can't recall. Oh, hang on, that goes back to 284. Okay, let's not spend a point of luck on that. So we find our way to a monolith, turn around, and then Keiko is like, "Hang on, I feel there's something here." And there's a monolith. No, let's not do that. Okay, so we could walk the forest perimeter. That could be useful. Which is going to take half an hour, and then we can head in for lunch. Yeah, let's do that. That was 484. We're now 4 minutes before lunchtime. You set off walking the perimeter of the woodland that marks the boundary to Lombard House grounds. You come across a standing stone that seems to be made from red granite and perhaps 11 feet tall. You fail to find any markings, so decide to press on. After only another 80 yards amongst the trees, you see another. This one is made of sandstone and has a 6-inch circle carved into the south side. Moving on, you come across a third monolith, equidistant from the last one. Interesting, you pull out your notepad to sketch a map. Do you wish to attempt to map the estate grounds? This needs a navigation roll, which I will almost certainly fail at, and needs 30 minutes of time, which I do not have time for. So I guess I'll note that down as a future thing to do. And so we end up back in the driveway. And it's lunchtime. All this walking around and spotting monoliths has made us hungry, so we shall go in. 2918. Hearing the dinner gong, you congregate in the dining room as the grandfather clock chimes 1. Mrs. O'Brien is cheerful and reveals a spread of amazing toasted sandwiches. There are several fillings, from shrimp, crab, and tuna to mushroom, hams, and cheese. She serves a large china tea urn for you all to enjoy with fresh milk and sugar lumps. A small slice of trifle is served for anyone still wanting more. I'm sure there's even more food for everyone than there would normally have been because one character died horribly last night. Over the delicious buffet, you chatter to the other benefactors and end up with Kenneth Richardson. who was the late arrival, who I think may be some sort of evil cultist murderer. He's an interesting man, as he is obviously a little more working class than the other guests. Oh, how interesting. A poor. He says he's an engineer and apprentice trained, mainly dealing with steam turbines and engines. You notice his collar has some oil on it, and his cap certainly smells of soot. He explains in a Lancashire twang that he has a love of all things Kingdom Brunel, and that is why, while in the Great War, he had found himself in the 3rd Tank Corps. He says he picked up some spall, a type of shrapnel inside tanks. Anyway, that is how he happened to be Edward Lombard on a hospital ship coming back to Old Blighty. The luncheon ends with everyone feeling sated and ready to carry on their investigations into the legacy of Lombard House. If the party is short of a member, you may recruit a pregen now. Yes. I'm also going to swap out Emily French because she is temporarily insane. Oh, if any of the party have gone temporarily insane, goes to 992. Ooh, okay, that might be recover. Anyway, let's recruit someone. Who can navigate? Is there anyone who can navigate? Of course, Captain Roy Mahoney, the ship's captain, is an excellent navigator. He will join us. Just like sidle over to him, like, so, Captain Mahoney, how do you feel about flying bat snake monsters attacking you at night? Are you afraid of such things? Probably says, like, Yar, I've faced a sea serpent or two in my time. No sky serpent, well, can be as fearsome as that. And he joins our party. I'm sure he grips the pipe in his teeth at all times. It's an integral part of his look. Okay, now goes on 992. It is very noticeable that one group member is not handling the stress very well. A low-pressure sea serpent. Or maybe a sea serpent filled with hydrogen. In fact, Emily French is shaking and making the odd small sound with their eyes closed. They do not respond to Mrs. O'Brien's offers of a drink or a bath. Odd thing to offer at lunch. The solicitor heads off outside and returns 5 minutes later and tells you help is on the way. Before the end of the luncheon, there is a heavy knock on the door and some men in white enter. They guide your companion away into their white van. Looking on into the snow-white background, it makes for a surreal spectacle. One explains that you can go visit your friend tomorrow at Boggle House Mental Institute. Mrs. O'Brien and Eleanor Harris both look shocked at what has just happened. Oh, I hope they make a recovery by tomorrow, as they seem so broken. It's terrible, the poor thing. Lose that member of the party until we're recovered from the asylum. I can visit the asylum tomorrow to recruit into my party. Until then, your party is short of an investigator. Or I can replace them with a different pregen, but they can't leave the facility for a week if I do. So Emily French is quite good at archaeology. So I feel like I don't want to abandon her for a week. No one else is as good. So I think I'll be short a party member for the day and I can go pick her up tomorrow. Where is the asylum? Like, can I drive there? I don't know where the asylum is, so I don't know how to go there to get her back. Just gonna search the PDF for asylum. Actually, it's called Boggle House, isn't it? Is Boggle House on the map? Yeah, I don't see it. Was it not Boggle House? Did I just make that up? It is Boggle House. Why did searching the PDF not find it? Boggle Hole, not Boggle House. I'm trying not to like read things beyond just glancing to see where I can find the asylum. Okay. Um Boggle Hole appears to be on map 6. Um Oh no, it's on map 8. Okay, I don't have map 8, so I can't go there to pick up insane people. So and there's nothing in here about where it is. Okay. I guess just have a look again at 918. Yep, temporary insanity. Um okay, I guess I will swap her out for someone else then, since I don't know where I'm gonna find a map to get there. Boggle hole. I missed that somehow. 6, 4, what, 6, 4, 5. Okay, I won't leave her for a week. I'll pick her up tomorrow. Okay. So you've red, white, blue. So it is 6, 5, 4, I guess. Let's go on a road trip tomorrow to pick up our crazy friend. Um, then advance time to 1:30. And go back to 231. There is apparently a Boggle Hole hostel. Yep. Yep. Boggle Hole is a real place, about 1 mile south of Robin Hood's Bay. The name of Boggle Hole, according to Wikipedia, is said to derive from a tale about a hobgoblin who lived in a hole at that location. It's been a very famous hobgoblin. All right, let's go somewhere. So, we could map the grounds, which was going to take time and navigate rolls. But we have an event coming up actually in an hour, so maybe we can't do that. I think it was going to take like at least half an hour. Sorry, no, at least an hour plus navigate rolls. So let's do that after the event. We could go search the garage. That was going to take half an hour to do. So yeah, let's go do that. So we want to go to the front door. And then to the garage. And then we want to search it, which is going to take 30 minutes. So that was 30 minutes plus 2 time units. At the back of the garage is a wood bench and workshop. It is full of tools and lengths of all different types of timbers. You look through boxes and crates full of nails and fixings. Eventually, after half an hour, your search reveals a small tin with fireworks inside under the bench. Sparklers, set with a set of ground effects and Roman candles. And it's the 5th of November, the perfect day to find fireworks. Roll demolitions. Does anyone have demolitions? Probably not. Is this the captain has sea law? Of course he does. Let's see, demolitions. Do any characters, any of the pre-gens, have demolitions? There's only one I didn't look at. Oh no, my dead character. He had demolitions. Oh well. Well, I'm probably not going to succeed on this roll. Let's just pick someone in case this turns out to be dangerous. Well, it's my main investigator, I suppose. Let's have Keiko Fong. She's making this demolitions roll. Nope, that is not a 1. You blow off your fingers. You notice the ground effect fireworks, including a few air bombs, which are just loud flashbangs. Perhaps they could be used to stun someone if they went off nearby. The fuses look like regular 10-second delays. I'm not confident in this judgment, given that I failed the roll, but that would be metagaming. It would be very convenient if I could resurrect the dead guy. Like, hey, we have someone. We need someone who knows about fireworks. Come back and do this before you can rest. Gain 4 air bombs. Let's add them to the list. If you wish to use them in combat, use the throw skill. When you throw one, go to prompt 394 for special rules. Okay. Let's just go back to 283. Okay, we have searched the garage, and we have fireworks, which we totally 100% know how to use correctly. Let's go back to the house, I suppose. And we could go check out the um if it goes to the road, it's gonna actually let us navigate around, isn't it? But it could be interesting to see what's down there during the day, at least, because at night we got attacked by a bat snake thing. So yeah, let's go down to the drive. 262 and then 555. A church comes into view at the bottom of the hill. There is a small red postbox here. A few large fir trees line the roadside. This sheltered area has remained almost free from snow, although the wind has changed. Heading west through an open gateway is a mud track large enough for a vehicle. There is a sign saying Green Lane, which means you can use the trackway despite being on private land. No doubt, Edward's property, thinking about it. It crosses a field and disappears into the trees. Meanwhile, to the east, set back from the road 40 yards, the old chapel is made of sandstone with a slate-tiled roof. It is a fair size. Therefore, you consider it well attended by the local community. The graveyard surrounds the chapel and is well populated by headstones facing south, suggesting to you that several generations from the small village are buried here. A light is on inside the chapel. You see it flickering through the colourful stained glass window that depicts St. George and the dragon. Yeah, so I can wander around. But I have an event coming up very soon. So I guess let's just enter the church. We'll see what's going on in the church, and that'll probably bring us to our event. You open the heavy church door and walk inside, pushed by the drifting snow. Closing the latch, it clicks, echoing around the acoustic building. It is icy cold here, but at least it is out of the bitter wind. Turning, you find the typical rural church layout, with 6 long pews down each side of the aisle, leading towards the altar and pulpit. 3 candles illuminate the large chamber, but don't really illuminate the high rafters or every corner. You see a small font here by the entrance. These old religious buildings command an air of mystery. Their grand stone construction succeeds in conveying they are, allegedly, the home of an invisible, omnipotent being, a god of immense power watching your every move and passing judgment. If this is your second or first visit here, goes that. I can fill a hip flask with holy water. Oh, I think that took one time. Let's look at the altar. Why not? Which kind of killing time here until something happens. You approach the altar, 2 steps above the rest of the chapel. Once at the steps, you see it is carpeted with a thin red tapestry. It appears to be a little worn, and you suspect it is exceedingly old. The altar itself is simple and draped in a white cloth. Upon it is a large cross of a gold colour. You presume it is painted wood. The altar itself is simple and draped I read that line already. The carpet is more like a tapestry or flag now. Now you're beside it and see it is a scene depicting a fully armoured knight with a huge greatsword planted in front of him. One hand holds the hilt while his right holds up a head. Some weird mythical serpent, it would seem, with its huge mouth open. This is probably St. George and the dragon, right? If that's what the stained glass window was. Behind him there is a cross, and beneath the knight is a scrolled text in Latin. Anyone know Latin? Does our ship's captain just happen to know Latin? That'd be convenient. Nope. Nope. The grumpy GP knows Latin, but he's not in our party. Okay, well, I guess we fail, but if this is going to cost time, it is going to cost time. So, let's see, we were on 290, but then we have to jump to an event. What event is it? It is 1137. 1137. Combat. You hear the sound of a pack of hounds in the distance. You guess there must be a hunt on today. No matter where you are, suddenly there is a shotgun blast. Roll to hit. On a success, the main investigator loses 2d6 hit points. That is a miss. It misses by inches. An unknown, crazed, barefoot man dressed in soaking white clothes leaps at you, screaming, "You must die!" Must have been hiding on one of the pews in the church. Be that through a window or from behind a bush, he gains the element of surprise. Definitely leaps up from behind a pew with a gun, and is on you within a second. He attacks the investigator with the lowest luck. He has 70, 50, 51. She's away. Okay, it is 50. Just Keiko Fong. They become the main investigator. She's already main investigator. Perfect. He is brandishing a knife that glints in the dim light before he thrusts it at your midriff. He gets to attack before he can react. Roll to hit with a knife. That is a miss. He misses with his thrust because Keiko Fong is a judo master. Immediately there is a gunshot. The crazed maniac is hit in the back and falls to the ground. You see, at the opening, a policeman brandishing a smoking revolver. Okay, so just to set the scene here, we are in a church where, over at the altar, looking at oh, what an interesting tapestry carpet thing. It's got some Latin on it, and then this crazy guy jumps over with a shotgun, fires one blast, jumps forward with a knife, and is shot in the back by a policeman who is now standing in the open door of the church with a smoking gun in his hand. And a crazy guy on the floor of the church, just in the middle of the aisle with blood pooling from a wound. The sound of bloodhounds gets louder. They're also chasing this guy down with dogs. Quickly, a team of men in heavy white overcoats restrain the lunatic and put him in a straitjacket while he lies bleeding on the floor. He is laughing, then crying, then laughing and ranting. "The red worm made me do it. He made me do it. He said I had to kill the bringer of light. Said I had no choice. No choice, you hear?" He laughs. "He made me do it." The policeman introduces himself as being Sergeant Fulton from Whitby. He says he has been dispatched with one of several groups to hunt down this dangerous escaped inmate. He suggests you should seek further medical attention if you're badly injured or shaken up by the ordeal. No worries, Sergeant Fulton. He was incompetent. As they drag the injured inmate away and a white van turns to return to the facility, he shouts back at you. "You must find the 4 numbers. For God's sake, please find them before the stars align and use them, or else he'll come and feast upon my soul. I beg you, please, the numbers." The policeman shakes his head and says he'll file a report, which may mean you're eligible for some compensation. Ooh. I've been involved in an accident that wasn't my fault. That's compensation. Officials will be in touch. Sergeant Fulton comments that the strange thing is they cannot work out how Lister escaped from his cell, as it was still locked when they found it empty. "Very strange indeed, but that is Boggle Hall in a nutshell." Oh, that's not good. That's where my crazy friend has gone. He remarks as you thank him for saving the day. He leaves in the van to return the dangerous lunatic to the asylum. As the bloodhounds are heard moving away, you also make out to Lister's manic laughter receding into the falling snow. Then again, silence reigns as you continue your investigation. No one was injured. +4 time. Return to your last injury. Entry. Okay. So back to the church. So we've been attacked by crows, and now we've been attacked by a madman. And we have actually not many. So we've got one, um, two, three. Looks like we've only got three other events which just go to something. Although the last one is go to 7 and is immediately before the end. So I imagine this one at 4 p.m. on the 8th of November is going to be a meteor slams into the earth, killing everyone. But potentially this one at 8 p.m. today and 10 p.m. on the 7th could be more random attacks. But everything else is like breakfast or evening meal or bedtime or something. So we might be out of the woods, figuratively speaking. Anyway, we were about to fail to read some Latin. You're not sure about the Latin? Something about the dark, perhaps? Unsurprisingly, our Japanese main character doesn't just happen to know Latin. The nearby vestry door opens, surprising you. A man enters, dressed in black, with the dog collar of a priest. He's wearing a black hat and half spectacles, sporting a well-groomed but greying beard. Well, hello there, he greets you with a smile. He, studiously does not comment on the blood that's on the floor after the crazy man was shot in his church. You shake his hand and notice he has a Bible in the other. I'm the Reverend Martin Pashby. I've led the parish here for 3 decades. It's always a pleasure to meet new parishioners. And I have heard you are the new residents at Lombard Hall. News travels faster on these parts, as little happens of note, except, of course, the shootings of inmates in the church. It's a shame you couldn't make Edward's funeral. Everyone in the area turned out, and it was a beautiful day to lay him to rest with the rest of his family. Well, other than Ben, he never made it home. He looks at you. The war took him, and his body was never found. Forever in Flanders fields. He crossed himself. Anyway, it's the end of the Lombard line and tenure here at the big house. Everything has an end, but it is the beginning of something new. Your residency. I was good friends with Edward and would happily answer any questions if you have any. Let's ask about Edward, because actually none of our characters really know Edward that well. We were invited to the reading of the will, which was a surprise to all of us. So, yes, that's great. Thanks. Tell me about Edward. Well, you knew Edward. A dignified man with a lot of humanity. He tried to be the people's champion around these parts, and succeeded, if you ask me. He was well loved locally because he always tried to give folk a good deal and was very fair in how he dealt with everyone. Don't get me wrong, he didn't suffer any fools, but for the community, he did nothing but good. Lots of charity work and donations to fund local projects. In fact, he paid for the local lifeboat and even repairs for the church roof. He looks up. It's such a shame he's gone. He looks down, saddened at the thought. Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways, but he could have done so much more good leaving him down here on Earth for a few more years. That's for sure. I used to invite him for dinner every Tuesday. We always played chess and talked about theology or politics. Great conversationalist and very knowledgeable on so many topics. Anyway, no matter how many times I angled for an invite to Lombard House, he never gave me one. Yeah, let's bring him. Would you like to come and bless the house? The vicar's house lights up. Well, it'd be a pleasure for me to come and bless the house for you. Many of the locals gossip about the place being haunted and the like, so it'd be good to put an end to such nonsensical rumours. I'll be sure to call around to Lombard House soon. I'm afraid I must visit an ill parishioner. You'll have to excuse me. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Goodbye. Gain Reverend Pashby as an ally. If you have a Masonic ring, go to 489. I don't, but like half the party do. She has a Masonic ring. We have a Masonic ring in the group. I think that counts. So we have gained Reverend Pashby as an ally. Let's note that down so we don't forget. Well, Let's note that down so that when I do forget, I can say, oh, I shouldn't have forgotten, I noted it down. Let's go and do Masonic things. So he shakes everyone's hand, and when he gets to Cynthia Balshaw, he's like, oh, he gives you a special handshake. I wonder if you'll be interested in attending our local lodge's meeting tomorrow. It's at the Raven Hall function room tomorrow afternoon, I think. I believe in like actuality, in the real world, the Masons and like the women Freemasons are like separate organizations that have like a common ideas, but they're very separate organizations. I think I'm not a Mason myself, but that's what I've heard. So you probably wouldn't get invited, but if you're a woman, but why not? You suggest it would be my honor to attend. Hopefully, I will. Well, I've got to be off to see a very poorly parishioner. Hopefully, see you again soon. It was lovely to meet you. Good day. He tips his hat and leaves through the front entrance. You have a look around, but there's nothing that draws your attention, so you leave. Okay, tomorrow afternoon. I'm free tomorrow afternoon. There's nothing horrible happening. So I guess tomorrow we'll go pick up the crazy one from the asylum and go visit the Masons. Let's note these things down. Oh, what? I hit a keyboard shortcut and made something appear. Oh god, what's happened? Everything's just disappeared. Oh, that's odd. Oh, I'm glad everything didn't just disappear. That was a horrible moment. It's like, oh no, I've deleted everything. I have undone some stuff I didn't mean to undo though, so let's put some prompts back. Right, so it is the Raven Hall function room. I think I was missing a number there. Let's put that back. So that was 260. Yes, we had some things. We talked about Edward. And then we invited him to come and bless the house. And then we had our Masonic ring encounter. And now we're leaving. I wasn't counting time, but I think it was like 3 things or something. Okay, I guess I feel just like aimlessly wandering around outside is probably not very productive, so let's go back to the house and we have a bunch of time now, so we can go around the forest and map the grounds. So yeah, let's go back to the house. Yep, 554. Which is also the grid reference. Very convenient, very good. You're back to where you started, to where this mystery started, the gateway to Lombard House. However, this time it is evident the snow has been heavy since your last passing. The old forest and estate wall are covered in crisp snow several inches deep. The sky is dark, contrasted with snowflakes drifting down onto your face. Looking east from the top of the hill, you can see the distant horizon over the almost black sea. You can smell the salty prevailing wind. Green lamps on the shipping heading south help you see them in the poor light, while the red lamps of the ships heading north up by the coast. Walk the estate's perimeter. Is that? That was something I wanted to do. I guess let's do that now. Sure. Let's walk the perimeter. Right, yes, and this is the mapping of the thing. So I don't need that separately. It takes half an hour to walk the perimeter. Yes, so we have been to this prompt before, so we start walking around, we come to a standing stone made of red granite. We press on and find another one made of sandstone with a 6-inch circle carved into the south side. So we have some shapes on here. I've seen the shapes in a prompt before because I joked earlier in the stream about it being like a game controller. And I didn't realize at the time. Let's just have a quick look at things. Or I can just search the PDF for triangle. Nope. Yeah, it was 259. Did I not copy that? Oh, I did. It's literally right below. Yeah. Yes, 4 combination dials and huge handle. Across a circle, a square, and a triangle. Cross, circle, square, triangle. Yes, that. Hmm. Let's read this again. Let's see what this is related to. Okay. He turns to the page to reveal a tea-stained pencil-drawn doodle on the back of the letter. There are several symbols in a line up the page and a squiggle across it. Maybe I should go to the safe and have a look. The vault, rather, and have a look. Because I have an order of symbols here. But let's map the perimeter first. To get the map, which I think would be useful. Okay, it takes 30 minutes. And roll navigation. So no one is any good at navigation. But my best is a 30%. Maybe I can spend some luck. $89. I cannot spend luck. Like, even all of my luck isn't enough to bring that down to 30. Okay, if you fail, you're lost within the woods. Go to 409. Lose 1 Eldritch point. And I think I'm going to try to retrace my steps. Oh, this is that's the wander around. Let's jump back to prompt 409 actually. Oh yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, so 357 and 374. These are the two you're wandering around the forest prompts, and you get there if you try to. So there are four possible destinations from here. Heading back to the house and trying to retrace your steps, they both go to the to 374. Heading for the boundary of the estate takes you to 357. It's only if you search the wood properly that you go to a different prompt. Maybe I should search it properly, I guess. Actually, I've already done that. I want to get back to the map it out prompts and just kind of keep trying that. I guess let's search it properly. Which is going to cost D4 time and some luck. That's definitely a failure on the luck. And we're now lost again. Wait, no. We have our captain is really good at navigating. Let's go back because I totally forgot about that. We're on prompt 484. .484 is mapping, and I rolled an 89, I think, on this. What's his navigate? I'm actually going to reassign gear action. I'm going to give him the compass. Which makes his navigate 85. So I think I need to spend like 4 points of luck. Yeah, let's do that. Let's retcon that he actually made the roll. Wow, we succeeded. Okay, I get a map which is at prompt 1138, then I go to 262. See, 1138. I'm not sure how useful this map's going to be, but we've got it. Okay, let's have a closer look at this. So I guess the red points must be the standing stone. So here we've got the folly tower. So we have a ring of standing stones around the property, which is kind of what I expected, as we'd seen them in like all the directions we'd gone. Yeah, I'm not really sure how useful this map is. Anyway, then goes to 262. Which is back to the driveway. Okay, so we have mapped it. We have searched the forest. I want to go to the vault because it's got the same symbols as on this scribble, and I want to look at the lock. So I'm going to do that. So I can go to the vault. It costs 1 time. Okay, if you have the silver key, the middle key, and the gold key, I have the middle key, and I have the silver key, but I don't yet have the gold key. Okay, if you don't have the vault key, the handle won't move, goes to 259. Otherwise, okay, so I need numbers. So multiply the cross number by the circle number to get P. Now get the square number, multiply by the triangle number to get Q. Multiply P and Q. Okay. This is just multiply the four numbers together and by 2, and you get the total. But I don't have any of these numbers, so I can't do that. Okay. Go to 259. So I'm back in here. So okay, let's note down that the vault needs numbers. Silver, middle, and gold keys. Hmm. Yeah, I guess the gold key must be the next thing I need. Well, let's head back upstairs. What time of day is it? It's still fairly early. It is nighttime when all the weird stuff happens. If I were a gold key, where would I be hiding? Oh yeah, from the top of the... I know down top of the Folly Tower, number 4 visible. Let's go have a look at what that entry actually said. Let's just find the Folly. So I climbed the Folly Tower, and it was dark. Okay, the full moon breaks through the canopy of massive snow clouds. While the snow flurries subside in this eye of the storm, the extra moonlight helps illuminate the battlements and surrounds. There is a distant roll of thunder out to sea. A low rumble persists as you notice from this lofty position. The moonlight is reflected by various stones in the gravel area below. The salt rocks you had spotted earlier must be there to avoid snow laying upon them. These reflective surfaces combine to form the outline of a digit. The number 4 is clear as day. That is, until a cloud moves over the moon and the area becomes plain rock and gravel once more. There is a distant rumble of thunder a second time. You see more snow coming from the north, spewed from a huge nimbus illuminated by a shaft of moonlight. Okay, but it doesn't... I don't know what shape it is. But I guess... It doesn't matter what shape it is, because you multiply the 4 numbers together, and multiplication is commutative and associative. So it doesn't matter. but it's probably one of them. So if I find like 3 other numbers somewhere in the grounds, that will give me the clue, I think. Anyway, we were at prompt 231. Figuring out where to go next. So it would be nice to get some lockpicks because then we could potentially break into the housekeeper's cottage, and who knows, maybe she happens to have all the secrets there. We could go out again and head in a different direction. We go to 564, which where is that? It's just a patch of road here with a farm down it. There's all the books in the library. See, room 9 had a spy hole. Was that like a certain time of day thing? Which one was room 9? Room 9 is 139. Yes, that was a nighttime thing. I'm not really sure where to go from here. I don't feel there's any like obviously missing places, and I think the gold key must surely be in the grounds somewhere. Like we're not just gonna get it by wandering randomly across the roads of Yorkshire. And all the interesting stuff seems to happen at night, so maybe we do actually just have to like kill time until sunset. And then we can go out into the grounds and have a look at some things again. We can look through the spy hole and see what's going on in the kitchen or wherever the spy hole opened up in the dining room after midnight. Yeah, I think let's just kill time. We spend the next several hours sat in the living room. We have visited every room, yes. So I've got this to-do list of things we've not yet done. So, like, we've not done everything, but it feels like I've been to most places. Yeah, let's just kill time. So we spend the next few hours just in the living room drinking expensive scotch or something. And then the evening meal rolls around, which is prompt 993. At the familiar sound of the dinner gong, you all assemble, as usual, in the dining room. The chimes of 6:30 p.m. echo from the grandfather clock. A log fire is roaring, and it is warm here in comparison to the majority of the house. Mr. O'Brien reveals tonight's platters are salmon with roasted root vegetables. As usual, the smell is mouth-watering, and you tuck in with vigor. She has infused the vegetables with honey that is caramelized to create an appetizing flavor when eaten with the prime salmon flakes. She notices your enjoyment of the food, and you see her smile from the pride in her cooking mastery. Over the evening meal, the discussion turns towards the inclement weather and how it is so fortunate that if you are to be snowed in, it is with Mrs. O'Brien. She blushes as she clears away the plates and wheels out the dessert. A cheesecake with cream is just perfect. The solicitor asks if you're any nearer to solving Edward's wild goose chase and cryptic puzzles. You humour him rather than giving all the details. He asks, "What do you even think the prize is when he's already given more than a man can spend?" To which you have no answer and shrug your shoulders. Some other benefactors show interest in your use of the time here. The party's lost any The party is down a member, but we're picking up our missing member tomorrow. Mrs. O'Brien announces that Edward always had a bonfire on the 5th of November to celebrate Guy Fawkes Night, and that this will be held near the garage in half an hour at 8 p.m. In half an hour, it's 6:30 p.m. It will be held in 2 hours. She'll see you there with toffee apples. She says he used to walk around the grounds after the bonfire for an hour and finish with a glass of sherry around 8:30. Oh, set the time to 7:30 p.m. Okay, so it's just a long evening meal. And I guess let's just go to the bonfire. And then after that we can start doing the weird outdoor stuff. So 973. The grandfather clock near the front door of Lombard House chimes 8 o'clock. As per Mrs. O'Brien's request, you gather near the garage. There, she's raked up a pile of brushwood from the forest's edge and stacked pre-cut logs on top of it. It's a fair-sized bonfire and should last a few hours, even in the snow. She explains she has used some kerosene at the base and to be careful when lighting it, so you light a rag and throw it in, where it sets up immediately, with a small woof. The heat on your face is welcome and reminds you of the joy of bonfires as a child on the few occasions it snowed. To further the nostalgia, Mrs. O'Brien reappears, with brandy snap and toffee apples on a tray. Mr. Lombard used to set off a few big fireworks on the lawn around midnight every year. I think he kept them in the back of the garage, but I never attended such frivolously loud bangs under his advice. They don't agree with my ears, cause terrible tinnitus, and my heart isn't the strongest either. No, I'm always tucked up in bed by midnight with a nice cup of tea. As you stand around the fire, you think what a perfect setting this appears, but in the back of your mind, you know something isn't right here. There is something present at this house that doesn't like you. You just can't put your finger on exactly what gives you the feeling. I mean, I think it's the flying snake monsters that attacked me. Through the trees, you can see the odd patch of light. There must be distant bonfires, marking the traditional night. However, the fire begins to wane, and you all decide it is best to not get too cold standing here in the deep snow. Set the time to 8:30 p.m. and go to 234. Right, so I'm at the front door. So, things that happen at night. After midnight, there's something to do with the spy hole into the dining room. And I think it was after 11 p.m. is when something happens at the tree. And there's probably other things as well. Like if we try to leave the grounds through the front drive, something will probably happen. So let's mark some stuff on this map. So we found the number 4 over here by the Folly Tower. This map just shows everything in a line. I don't think this is a map really. Yeah, I'm not convinced that this is a map. It's a sketch of some sort. There's a lot more than just 4 standing stones. So it's not like there are just 4 standing stones that have the numbers we need to find. I will go to the tree and then just pass time until 11 p.m. because that's the first thing we can do, I think. So go to the lawn and over to. Also, is there anything at the main gate at night? No. Anyway, okay, let's go to the lawn and the tree. Where were we? We're at 231. We weren't at 231. We were at we're at 973. It then takes us to 234. From 234, we're going onto the lawn at 206. And then we're going to go to the ancient tree at 221. And we'll just pass time until 11 p.m. It's like stand for like 3 hours out in the snow. Because then at 11 p.m. something happens. If you have an axe, go to 416, otherwise go to 500. Okay. Approaching the enormous ancient oak, you hear a creaking up amongst the branches. Odd, considering there is no wind. Heavy snowflakes are just drifting out of the dark night sky, illuminated by the moon that is revealing a shifting snow cloud. As you move nearer, you're suddenly surprised by something grasping your axe. Looking down, it is a root. A sinew-like tree root comes out of the ground and is already wrapped around the handle of your axe. Roll strength. Okay. Who has the axe? I didn't give the axe to anyone in particular, so I mean, I guess I actually promoted him to main investigator if he made the skill check earlier. Well, no, I can roll skill checks for anyone in the party. It's just some things are main investigator only. So we'll go for our strongest character, which is Miss Cynthia Balshaw. We'll say she's got the axe. So she'll make a strength roll. She fails. The axe is ripped from her hands. Okay. Actually, someone specifically did have the axe because I gave it to someone. Okay, it was Emily French. She has the axe, actually. Okay, in that case, I guess we don't go to 416. We went to the other one, which is 500. Like, I'm retconning things like a fair bit as I change my mind about what I'm doing, but I think if the character who has the item is offered in an insane asylum, the item isn't present. So, combat. The ancient oak tree has animated and seems to be uprooting itself. The trunk's many scars you had thought were from axe wounds open up with an ominous creak, revealing numerous mouths lined with sharp teeth, while the knots that list the branches open to expose tens of purple eyeballs. The massive tree is not a tree at all. As the rotting bark falls from the trunk, you see there is a fleshy underwood, supple enough to move. Suddenly, the malignant entity comes dashing at you very quickly on 4 hoofed legs formed of twisted roots. Its huge physical presence is truly intimidating and terrifying. Then it shrieks, a deafening, shrill scream. Okay, It's a Dark Young, and I believe I did the sanity rolls wrong last time, so I only had my main investigator roll sanity, but actually, some rolls or tests apply to all investigators in the party. These often include sanity tests from witnessing horrific sights. So, I think they all have to roll sanity. And I do have my emerald. Let's not forget my emerald. My calming emerald, which will reduce sanity damage by 1. So let's just go through everyone. So we have Captain Mahoney, 55 sanity. He succeeds. He only loses 1d3 sanity. Minus 2 because he has an orchid. And he is thinking of an emerald. So that's 1 sanity lost. Then we have Keiko Fong. She has 65 sanity. She passes and loses 1 sanity. We have Cynthia Balshaw with 75 sanity. She passes and loses 0 sanity, actually. But still, let's put the box there so it's easy to edit in the future. 75. That's a 2 on the D3, minus 2. No one goes temporarily insane. The combat starts at close range for all firearms. The Dark Young acts at Dexterity 50. Dexterity 80, sorry. That's faster than everyone else, right? I'm pretty sure. Oh, Keiko Fong has 80 dex. He gets 5 attacks per round. Let's read through this. So it has pretty powerful stats. Gets 5 attacks per round. Everyone in the party reveals 1 trample attack. Any remaining attacks are randomly assigned to grab and bite people. Each hit with a firearm only does 1 hit points of damage, unless even including silver bullets and shotguns. The axe does double damage, but I don't have an axe. From the second round of combat, the party may opt to flee towards the front door. Round 3 allows another chance to roll dexterity and escape inside the house. Again, failure leaves them subject to attacks. Round 4 assumes all remaining investigators scrabble inside the house and bar the door. Should the entire party be wiped out, the game ends here. If you successfully retreat and do not defeat the Dark Young, go to 4-4-3. If you defeat the Dark Young, that's not going to happen. Okay, potential TPK situation. So it acts at Dex 80. Keiko Fong has 80 Dex, so I'm just going to say she goes first, and then the Dark Young will go. I mean, she doesn't know it only takes 1 hit point of damage from a gun, and I'm pretty sure she's not... Maybe she would use her Wakizashi, because she's better at that than with a revolver. And everyone's like right next to the tree. Yeah, I think she's gonna try to attack it with her sword. So I need to remember how combat works at Call of Cthulhu because it has been a while. Is it explained in here, or do I need to consult the actual book? I must consult the actual book. I know the Dark Young can, evade, and it can dodge and fight back and whatnot. Let's just get the stuff up. Call of Cthulhu. Let's just get the combat flowcharts up. No, it's not a flowchart. It's just I have a flowchart somewhere. all the best games have flowcharts for their core mechanics. How else are you supposed to? What sort of rubbish game doesn't have a flowchart for things? Oh, that's a slightly different aspect ratio, but it's fine. The important stuff fits on screen. Okay. So it wasn't noted as being a surprise attack. I guess it takes like enough time transforming that we are able to react to it. So yes, Keiko Fong will attack with her sword, and it is going to probably fight back. It gets 5 attacks per round. Why wouldn't it? I guess it probably can't trample to fight back, but it can grab and bite, I suppose. Okay, Keiko failed with her sword, and the Dark Young succeeded with its grab and bite. So it's just going to, yeah, deal damage. And its damage is a d10, plus you lose 5 strength as it takes a chunk out of your arm or something, as I expect. D10 damage is pretty serious in Call of Cthulhu. That's 6 damage. How much health does she have? That's more than half her health in a single hit, which I believe means it is a serious wound. This goes to the damage flowchart. So yes, the damage is greater than or equal to half her max HP, so it is a major wound. She falls prone and must make a con roll to see if she is unconscious. That is a failure. She is unconscious. And let's check the major wound box. So she's not like dying yet, but she is unconscious. And let's just check if this mentioned anything about unconscious characters or whatnot. No. So I guess it just standard rules. So I suppose if she wants to retreat, someone's going to have to drag her and like grab her and drag her with them. Okay, well that was her turn. So now it is the Dark Young's turn. So it's used at one of its attacks on Keiko Fong. It has 4 other attacks, and there are 3 members of the party at the moment. So we have Cynthia Balshaw, Keiko Fong, and Ron Mahoney. So everyone in the party gets 1 trample attack, and then it has, so that'll be 3 trample attacks, and it has 1 other grab and bite attack it will use on a random person. I also need to note down that she has actually lost 5 strength. So she is down to 55 strength. Not him, her. She's down to 35 strength. Okay, let's just go through our characters. So Cynthia Balshaw is going to be trampled. She's going to try to dodge. I think that is the best she can do in this situation. I feel that you can't really fight back against being trampled by a giant tree monster. You have to dodge. So her dodge is not a 66. She failed to dodge, and what is that? That's 66. It misses the trample. So it's both miss. So no damage. They just kind of flail at each other. Next we have Keiko Fong. She is unconscious, so she'll just be automatically hit. Unless it like whiffs its trample roll. 58. Let's just have a look at attacking like unconscious characters. I'm like, surely you can just do it without needing to roll for it, right? Let's go to the full combat rules. And that's how it works in most systems. If a character's unconscious, you can just get them because it's not like they can evade or anything. And for a physical attack, as opposed to like a ranged attack, I think you can probably just hit them. I'll just search this chapter for unconscious. Okay, further damage is generally ignored. Okay, when you get to 0 hit points, further damage is generally ignored, but any serious attempt to kill the character should generally succeed. Okay, I think it deals 46 damage on a hit. I think it just kills Keiko Fong outright. So she is dead. Trampled to death by a Dark Young. Next, we have Captain Ron Mahoney. He's going to try to dodge, I suppose. It successfully tramples. He fails to dodge, so he's going to take 4d6 damage. That's only 6 points of damage. That was a really ineffectual trample. But it's good for him. Okay, so it's got 5 attacks. It has used 4 so far. After trampling everyone, it says it randomly attacks someone with a grab and bite. So we have 2 candidates. Let's just roll a d4. If it is a 1 or a 2, it's going to be Cynthia. If it's a 3 or 4, it's going to be Captain Mahoney. It is Cynthia. She is going to be grabbed and bitten. So Cynthia is now rolling to dodge with a penalty, as she only gets 1 attack per round, and this is the second incoming attack. Actually, maybe she could fight back at this point. She can only really fight back with her penknife, which she has a 55 chance in her dodge. Okay, she's going to try to fight back with her penknife. Maybe she can, like, jab it in the face as it tries to bite her. Well, she got a 67, so she misses. I don't even need to bother rolling the penalty. It hits, so that's d10 damage and lose 5 strength. That's 4 damage and lose 5 strength. So she's down to 60 strength as a chunk of her is ripped off by a giant tree goat monster thing. Okay, so that was its turn. Now, who has the better dex? We got a 40 and a 55. So Cynthia is going to try to shoot it with her shotgun. It's her best combat ability. And she hits. But unfortunately, the Dark Young only takes 1 point of damage from this. So it's down to 29 health. There doesn't seem to be much point in tracking this, but who knows? Maybe they'll whittle it down. The captain, what's his best combat skill? He has a sawn-off 12-gauge shotgun. He's going to do the same, I feel. And fumbles. To remind myself what the fumbles are for combat. I believe the gun jams. Let's see, firearms. Oh, actually, in short range. Oh, no, no, no. It's point blank range that gives a bonus. Okay, if the rolls a fumble, the keeper may choose whether the gun malfunctions or some other outcome occurs, such as hitting an ally or the wielder injuring themselves in some way. I think the gun malfunctioning makes sense. So his gun is jammed, and he'll need to unjam it before he can fire it again. So that was the first round of combat. One character killed. Now, on the second round of combat, the party may opt to flee towards the front door. All investigators must roll their dexterity. Any who fail are attacked. Okay, so it sounds like the dexterity roll happens before the Darkian gets to attack. So they're both fleeing. So let's start with Cynthia. She has 55 dex. That's an 83. I do not believe you can spend luck on... So you can't push combat rolls. Can you spend luck on combat rolls? I can't remember. Let's have a look at luck. Spending luck. Luck may not be spent on luck rolls, damage rolls, sanity rolls, or rolls to determine the amount of sanity points lost. But I guess you can... yeah, okay. You can spend luck on this. So I got an 83. She needs a 55. So I'm gonna spend the 18 points of luck. She runs back to the house. Those who roll a success manage to escape, but can shoot from the safety of the front door. I think she's just gonna go into the house. And Captain Mahoney, what about him? He only has a 40 dex. Yeah, that's a 96. That's a fumble. So you can't use luck actually to get out of a fumble. Or the best, yeah, you can't even downgrade it to a regular failure. So he completely fails that. So the Dark Young, I'm not even sure there's any point rolling for this, but it's gonna unload on him with its 5 attacks. So first it'll try to trample him. It misses. Then it will try to grab and bite him 4 times, and he will have penalty dice on these dodge rolls. That's a failure on the dodge and a hit on that. That's D10 damage and lose 5. That's 6 damage. It wasn't more than half his health in a single hit, so it's not a major wound yet. Because it is half of your... Yeah, half of your max HP, not just half of your current HP. It makes its second attack. And hits, so that's another D10 damage. Okay, he is at 0 hit points and has just lost 10 strength on this. He is now unconscious, so its third attack can just hit him, and I think we'll just kill him. Okay. So Cynthia, who is now our main investigator, she's the only surviving party member, makes it inside. But the Dark Young has killed Keiko and Captain Mahoney, and previously the flying snake monster thing has killed William Boltwood. So our party members are dropping like flies. If you successfully retreat, go to 443. Okay, I will go to 443. You take cover expecting the worst, but no attack on the house materializes. After a short pause, there is a colossal crash, and it is obvious that the abhorrent tree creature has destroyed something outside. Daring to peer through the letterbox, you see it moving off into the dark woodland, away from the house, heading north. Also, the last vehicle that you used is flattened where you left it in the drive. We have not used a vehicle yet, so that's okay. If you've not driven a vehicle yet, the bronze fountain is just discarded on the ground with teeth marks visible on its flank. You wait a while, but there's no more sign of the thing in the woods. You begin to relax a little and take stock of the situation. Okay. That was bad. Let's just pass some time and go check out the spy hole. I don't think there was any. Yeah, there's no. 1 a.m. is the next event, so we want to go to bedroom 9. And we already know where the spy hole is, so I'm just going to say we jump straight to it. Carefully searching the teal bedroom, you look through the bedding, curtains, and under the rug. To your surprise, there is something there. It appears to be a brass plate in the center of the floor. Looking even closer, you find it has a lens in the center. You peer even closer, and after lying on the floor, realize it is a spy hole. Looking through the lens, you can see into the dining room. It is midnight to 1 a.m., so go to 99. You look through the spy hole down into the dining room from above. Much to your amazement, you can see someone moving down there in the stark moonlight through the small window. It is a veiled woman, seemingly radiating a pink aura. She glides across the floor and towards the window. However, she does not go around the huge dining table. Instead, she slowly walks through it as if it is not there. This is the very definition of a ghost, it seems. She sits motionless by the window, staring at the moon. You sense a chill on the nape of your neck and realize this must surely be the supernatural. Roll sanity. I'm thinking about my emerald and my orchid, which will help me here. 50. Yep. Cynthia is so sane. Surprisingly so. Success, lose 1 sanity, but I'm thinking about my emerald. It's fine. If you succeed and wish to, you go downstairs and investigate. Otherwise, you can carry on watching. I think I'd like to go downstairs and investigate. Both seem like good options. What do you guys think I should do? Should I go investigate the ghost or carry on watching the ghost? Someone be decisive. Your decision will shape the future of this game. It does seem scary. Both the ghost and shaping the future of the game. But a choice has to be made. I suppose I could just like roll a die to decide which option I'll go for. Yeah, let's roll a d4. If it's a 1 or a 2, I will go investigate. If it is a 3 or a 4, I will keep watching. It is a 2. I will go and investigate. See, it's not scary at all. You don't feel threatened by the ghost, and she appears to simply stay seated by the window, motionless, perhaps looking into the darkness outside. You cannot tell, as her face is completely obscured by the veil. I can try to speak to her, I can touch her, or I can leave the room. Let's try to speak to the ghost. I feel just like poking a ghost is kind of rude. You try to speak to the apparition. Her transparent form sits motionless in the window seat, although her veil seems to slowly billow as if in a breeze which isn't there. She never reacts to your questions or greetings. You find it unnerving to see the paranormal up close and undeniable. Let's poke the ghost. As your hand connects with the apparition, suddenly you are paralyzed. There is an exchange of energy. An instant blast of wind emanates between you, blowing her veil over her head. Then you see the maggot-eaten skull beneath, with its jaw wide open and emitting a hellish scream, the likes of which you have never heard before. Her eye sockets are just dark and empty. You feel your blood run cold. Okay, maybe it was scary. Orchid and Emerald, protect me. That is a success. I lose no sanity. Cynthia is unshakable. Combat. Oh no. The pink lady ghost has a power of 75. If you're roll her power, then roll your own power. Okay, opposed power roll. I can do this. I got a 53. That's not going to be a hard success because my power is not 106. My power is 75, so it's a regular success at least. She got a 58, so she also had a regular success. The asterisk means that no time passes moving to this entry. However, I found the book is a little bit inconsistent with whether, some things say like 30 minutes pass or like 1d6 time passes or something like that. And I found the book is a bit inconsistent about whether the prompt it goes to then has the asterisk or not. So I'm kind of just going with whatever feels right for time passing. Okay, if your result is not a level of success better than the ghost, you lose the round. If you both roll the same level of result, you lose the round. Okay? If you lose the round, lose 1d6 power. Add this value to the ghost's power. Roll again. Okay? The ghost now has 80 power. And I now have 70 power. Roll again. As above. While locked in this battle for your soul, you are frozen and cannot make a sound. However, during the mental duel, you experience many moments of sorrow, such as very brief visions and strong emotions. I will reveal one vision per round. So the first round, a woman's broken body is rushed through the front door by a distraught Edward, along with a bulky ancient tome that is locked shut. Dead bodies and ancient tomes, that's never a good combination. Edward, what have you done? Okay, I got a hard success. The ghost got a regular success. I win this round. As soon as you win a round, the ghost vanishes. Let's just double check my maths. Yes, 27 is below 35, and 58 is not below 40. Okay. As soon as you win a round, the ghost vanishes, ending the attack. You leave the room in semi-shock at what has just happened. Looking over your shoulder in fear, you return to your bedroom. You feel drained and return to bed. Okay. I am unable to avoid passing out. If I had lost this fight, it would have been game over. But yes, let's note down that she is down to 70 power. Right, so go to the next sleep event, 1 a.m. And I guess I'm unable to resist because it says you feel drained and retire to bed. So I go to prompt 605. So this was a very unfortunate night of investigation. If you have a Ouija board and wish to use it, I do not have the board. As the loud clock strikes 1 o'clock in the morning, many beneficiaries make their good nights and return to their bedrooms. Indeed, it's been a long day, so you are starting to feel tired. I will go to bed. I am exhausted. I am drained. You are relieved to lock your door and finally get into bed. It has been a long, stressful day. The room is cold, but the blankets soon warm through. You blow out the candle and relax into the down pillow. The room is still unfamiliar. Limited moonlight makes it through the heavy drapes, where shadows of the falling snow play across the wall. All party members heal 1 hit point. Did Cynthia take any damage? Yes, she did take damage, didn't she? So she recovers 1 hit point. Ignore all constitution reductions and penalties. I don't have any. Gain 18 Eldritch points, -2 per party member who is being killed. So, okay, I will gain 12 Eldritch points. Each party member may roll to advance skills that had success since the last advance. I didn't realize this had character advancement. I wasn't keeping track of skills I succeeded at. Or skills I failed at, rather. Let's see. I mean, those demolitions. So I failed at. Wait, no, that had success in the last advance. So I failed at demolitions, so I can't advance that. What did Cynthia succeed at? She succeeded at shooting it with a shotgun, so she can potentially improve her shotgun. Nope. I think that was probably it. Gain D10 luck. 10 luck. Nice. If you have the skull, I do not. Roll main investigator's power. Uh-oh. That's a hard success. Go to 870. November 1925. You wake, feeling groggy and tired. You recall having some restless dreams, but you cannot remember them. However, after a few minutes, you come round and upon rising, splash water on your face and neck, rousing you quickly from your lethargy. Dressing, you check in your small travel mirror that you are presentable. You are starting to look tired, with bags under your eyes and probably a haunted expression, having seen 2 people killed last night. And their bodies trampled into the snow by an animated tree. No wonder this isn't what you had in mind when you set out to collect some money 3 days ago. You think of your loved ones and family and how you need to get back to them in one piece sooner rather than later, or not at all. You choose equipment to carry for the day ahead. Yep. Let's see anything in the luggage that I want. Probably not. I think I've got okay stuff. Descending the stairs, you again nod at the smiling painting of the late Edward before entering the dining room for breakfast. Mrs. O'Brien greets you and serves you a cup of tea with bacon on hot buttered toast, plus a side of fried tomato and mushrooms today. It warms you through, and you must say it is mighty fine bacon, while you watch the relentless snow falling outside the frosty window. Just then, your orchid crumbles to a grey dust and drops to the carpets. You all look baffled at what has just happened, and even the solicitor admits that it was strange, but probably explainable due to the temperatures it has been exposed to over the last few days. Lose orchid. No. My sanity saver. Seems the Russians have executed one of our chaps as an alleged spy yesterday. I hope this doesn't start another bloody war, comments Mr. Gray, the solicitor, as he studies the Times newspaper. After the food, you sit for a few moments, wondering what today will bring. No time like the present to find out. Move the time to 9:30. Okay. I feel we don't have enough time in this session left to get through another day, since it's been taking about a session per day. I feel it's probably going to speed up now because there's less exploring needed to do, and it feels we want to do more stuff at night time. But yeah, I think I won't start the next day. Now I will leave that to next time, and it will potentially be a short session next time if I have another character die. Though what we can do this morning is we can go and pick up, go to Boggle Hall, which would be interesting to visit, and pick up Emily French. And then in the afternoon, our Mason is still alive, so he can go to the Ravenhall function room and hang out with the Freemasons. And that will hopefully also be interesting. So, yeah, we will pick this up next time. And, well, we truly are alone against Nyarlathotep now. There's only one of us at the moment. But yes, we'll see what the scenario brings in the future. So thanks for watching, and pick this up next week.